After TV production slowed to a halt and then haltingly re-established itself in pandemic times, we can definitely say that 2022 looks to be a return to peak TV. January is full of premieres and many long-delayed series like Atlanta and Barry, alongside Amazon's elusive Lord of the Rings, are finally set to land in the coming months. While we will no doubt be watching and probably enjoying a lot of these other series, below are the 15 new and returning shows we're currently the most excited about, in order of premiere date. 10. The After Party. Christopher Miller and Phil Lord are returning to TV after moonlighting on the big screen for a few years, and their new series has the makings of a great time. The After Party is an 8-episode comedy mystery following the police investigation of a murder that takes place after a high school reunion. It features a cast list that reads like a wish list: Tiffany Haddish, Sam Richardson, Zoe Chow, Ben Schwartz, Ike Barinholtz, Ilana Glazer, Jamie Demetriou, and Dave Franco all star, while each episode recounts the evening's events through the lens of a different film genre that matches a different character's personality and perspective. From romantic comedy to thriller to musical, it does it all. And we couldn't be more excited. 9. Monarch. Maybe it's because I'm an only child with nice parents, but I'm a sucker for theatrical family dramas, especially if those dramas are built upon a wealthy empire full of squabbling siblings and deeply contentious parent-slash-child relationships. Monarch seems like it will deliver on all fronts and probably go fully off the rails in the process. Starring a deliciously bizarre lineup: Trace Adkins, Beth Ditto, Anna Friel, Inigo Pasquale, Susan Sarandon, Joshua Sass, and focusing on a multi-generational country music dynasty, Monarch should be, at the very least, a rhinestone cowboy of a good time. 8. Raised by Wolves Season 2. Raised by Wolves was one of the most unique and completely bonkers sci-fi series to air in 2020, and I can genuinely say that I cannot wait for its return. A complicated but truly engaging story about humanity's survival among the stars, tied in with both future tech and supernatural mysteries. There is not another show like it on TV. If it has any slight comparison, perhaps it's to the ambition and scope of Dune, or the battle between AI and humanity, and what it means to really be sentient/alive, like Battlestar Galactica. Although even with these large themes, the stories told in Raised by Wolves' first season were intimate and small in the best of ways. And as its season 1 finale proved, it's a show that has a strong sense of itself and its future that we can't wait to explore. 7. Atlanta Season 3. Some shows might be at risk of being forgotten after spending 4 years off the air. But not Atlanta. The Donald Glover-created show hasn't aired a new episode since 2018, but the massive gap between seasons 2 and 3 has only served to get fans more excited about its impending return and make the show seem more and more like the rare gem that it is. When the new season finally premieres this spring, Earn, Glover, Paper Boi, Brian Tyree Henry, Darius, Lakeith Stanfield, and Van Zazie Beetz are in the midst of a European tour and will follow them around the continent as they attempt to navigate and adjust to their newfound success. 5. Better Call Saul Season 6. If it feels like we've been waiting years for the 6th and final season of Better Call Saul to debut, it's because we have been waiting years. Season 5 aired way back in early 2020, so between the pandemic and star Bob Odenkirk's heart attack, which delayed the filming of his scenes, we've been waiting longer than usual to return to the ABQ. But the delay has also given us ample time for our anticipation to grow as we imagined what's next for Kim Wexler, Rhea Seehorn, after she broke bad in Season 5, and how exactly Saul Goodman's swan song will play out given what we know occurs in Breaking Bad. While this is just the first half of the acclaimed drama's last chapter like its parent series, the show's final season will be split in two. There are few series we're looking forward to more than this one. 3. Barry Season 3. The last time we saw Barry, Bill Hader, was in May of 2019, which is over 1,000 years ago. Time really flies, doesn't it? Seriously, the show has been off the air for a long time, but like Atlanta and other TV favorites that are finally set to return this year, we can't wait to see what new episodes will bring. Potentially having been outed as a killer to his mentor at the end of Season 2, Barry, who embraced some very intense violence in that season, may be finding his real life and cover story merging in unexpected ways. We'll be there for it, regardless. 2. Willow.
Hello.
Disney's
Yes,
reboot
it's me,
revival machine has been in
world-famous actor
overdrive
Warwick
since the
Davis.
advent
I'm
of
thrilled
Disney
to be coming
Plus,
to you from
and the
set
latest
of
IP
the
to be
brand new
resurrected is
sequel
Willow,
series
the
to my
beloved
most
George
popular
Lucas
role,
fantasy
Willow.
film from
Yeah, we
1988.
heard you die-hard Willow
Lucas
fans.
is out and Ron
The Willow
Howard is in
Mongers,
for the
the
TV
Willingly
series,
Softlies,
but star
the Low
Warwick
Boys.
Davis will be
You get the
reprising
idea.
his
We're still
titular
workshopping
role for a new
fan-based
story
films
that
for
we
that.
know very little
Anyway,
about,
they've
except
asked
that
me
it seems to
introduce
otherwise
you
have
to
a
the
new,
phenomenal
young cast.
or supporting cast
Though many of us
that
have
will
grown
join
tired
me
of this
on a brand
constant
new
mining of
adventure.
nostalgia for
Well, let's go
content,
meet.
Willow was special and, perhaps, it can be made
Okay,
so
we'll
once
start
again
with
in a
this
new
handsome
way.
young fella.
1. Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, which just celebrated its 20th anniversary, we're basically as old as Bilbo now, is one of the most beloved pieces of popular culture to date. That alone is probably enough to land Amazon's upcoming TV series, which is set during the Second Age of Middle-earth before the events of the movies and the books upon which they're based on our most anticipated shows list. But Amazon has also spent millions and millions and millions of dollars on this show since it bought the TV rights in 2017, back before Game of Thrones had even concluded. Knowing how much time and effort has gone into creating the show, and with a desire for more quality fantasy programming on television, our hopes and expectations are through the roof.